Hey everybody, Brannon Beliso here. I'm going to give people a chance to start logging on. It is a little before 8 o'clock. I'm going to give everyone a chance to come aboard, say hey, connect before we get things started. Eric, Johnny, Kathy, Jason, Danny, Jason Smith, welcome. What's up, Johnny, sir? Stephen, good to see you there, Stephen. Don, Nicholas. Hello, Jason, sir. Thank you, Stephen. Lyle. What's happening, Lyle? Give you a second to log on. Tony Carter, Chris Malloy, my friend from Australia. Can't wait to see you, sir. Virginia. All right. So as people come aboard, please say hello. Let me know that you're there. I appreciate that. This is Success Never Sleeps with me, Brannon Beliso, presented by Rainmaker Membership Systems and Software. Stephen, sir. What's happening, Stephen? For those of you coming aboard, I am in the process of auditing and reviewing Stephen's amazing program. And I say amazing in its simplicity. It is a course, it is a Facebook course. And I love that each video is really short, very concise. I think what I enjoy about hearing Stephen's voice in all of these instructionals is it's not authoritative. It's very warming. I mean, it's very simple, and he talks to you as if he was hanging out with you, sitting in his living room. And what I dig most about it is that, one, the content is spot on, simple, to the point. And Stephen doesn't pay me for this. This is got nothing to do. This is just me. I'm reviewing it, but I'm very, very thorough, as Stephen knows. I offer a lot of good advice, so I'm not quite through the whole thing. Some sections I've watched 2-3 times. I love the whole pixel, understanding what a Facebook pixel is. That's super powerful. Now I'm learning how to create a Facebook pixel and put it in. Every section has been very simplistic. So most of the videos are really short and they're concise, and they give you a very base overview on how you can create effective Facebook ads. And isn't that what we all want? And what I love about that, as you know how I am, I'm very big on empowerment. Empowerment for me is super, super important. I like to be the architect of my own life. And the key to that is to being a constant learner. The key to that is allowing myself the opportunity to have the right information that I need. And I don't like being at the mercy of some Facebook guy. I never like that, especially when it comes to technology. Giving my life and my vision and everything up to somebody is not something I ever favored. Is there a huge learning curve sometimes? Yes. Am I in a position to exercise that? Yes, I am. And I want to say that mindfully. If I'm a brand new school owner just starting out, I would definitely, well, for a big school owner, I would march to Stephen's door and I'd be knocking on it to get a website. But for me, part of my purpose is helping the industry. I needed to understand web design. So I hired my own web designer internally, who I've been working with close to 2 years. And I kid you not, we start, we stop, we start, we stop. That's why I'm really excited. If we've been able to grow our school to 1,000 students, what's going to happen when we have this amazing website? And by the grace of God, and I'm grateful to Stephen for that, he's had a hand in it now, and he's really helping us and advising us, and so freely, and which is in line with my values, because I help people so freely. But getting back to the Facebook course, I want to touch upon that. I think for everybody, it's simple, it's concise, and it really is a passion. I mean, it's not to sell you Stephen's website. I'm watching this going, okay, what is this really about? And it's to truly educate you and empower you to run your own Facebook ads. You need to do that. There's over 2 billion users using Facebook, and it's important that you understand how to do a custom list, right? Instead of just saying San Francisco, everybody within a 5-mile radius of San Francisco. No. That little thing, I didn't know that, Stephen. I didn't know. Take out San Francisco, punch in my address directly. Now, I had another person doing Facebook ads for me, so there was a bunch with our address in there. But when I personally made my own Facebook ads. I would just go for my city of San Francisco with a 5-mile radius. Stephen taught me, no, you put in your exact address, and now I can shorten that to 3 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile. I thought that was super cool. Super cool. I went to the business Facebook page today that Stephen had shared in one of the modules, and I was really looking at our demographics, and it is predominantly women between 25 and 45. The exact, pretty much the list that he advises you to use if you're marketing to, kids karate classes. It's amazing that my data would serve the same. So see, Stephen's not just pulling this stuff out of thin air. He looked at that Facebook business page and looked at the insights, right? Make sure you look into that. Man, the insights, I learned so much. And all I was missing was that little thing that said click all tools. Click all tools. It's right there. And boom, it opens up this whole list. And Stephen methodically goes down each list for you. And he'll tell you, you don't need the app one because it doesn't, we don't need that. And it's cool to have that. So I'm going to recommend this. And I'm only 3/4 of the way through, and already I'm giving it 5 stars. And fortunately, I think Stephen's going to take some of the advice that I offered him to improve the product. But as he shared, and I think I want you to know this as well, and I hope I can have some influence on this, Stephen. I'll say it publicly, that it's going to be a work in progress. Like our business, like our lives, like our martial arts, it's about progress, not perfection. And he's going to constantly be improving this product, making it better and making it better. I believe he'll do that. And that's super important. But do I believe it's ready for any of us to get in there and use? Absolutely. Absolutely. So check it out. I believe it's going to bust loose Monday. I'm going to still be sending you stuff every day, Stephen, until we get it tight. Cool? So let me see who else who's aboard. I love saying hello to everybody. Lyle, as I said, Tony Carter, Chris Malloy, Virginia, Stephen's here, Freddie, George, Stephen, I just had to turn you off to listen to you now. Let me get that. Oh, so Stephen, you must have been watching one of my other videos, right? Cool. Carlos, K1, what's happening? Renard Beatty, sir. Respect to you, sir. Renard's a great martial artist, old school guy. I have to go over to his page. You know why I go to your page, Renard? Because you ground me. You help me remember where I came from in the martial arts. So I hope you don't mind me saying that, sir. Consider that a huge compliment. Jimmy, Tony, always to listen to you fine. You're welcome, sir. Stephen, you're definitely helping bring it to know. And I want to, and again, I don't get anything out of that. Stephen asked me, and again, I feel that's becoming my role. I've audited other things and things of that nature, and I'm grateful. And if I like it, I'll tell you so. And if I don't, I'll tell you so. And that's the chance you take when you ask me to review things. But this is going to be good for us. Now, it's very, very simple. But again, what I think is great about it is I was working on a Facebook ad last night. And I was listening to Stephen's module, then looking at my Facebook ad and checking it, then going back to the module Stephen had and looking at and then going back again. And that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. It's very cool. So I think use it that way as well. Don't expect to get it all in one sweep. Know that you always have this course and you can reference sections methodically. I can go, okay, I need to make a custom list for kids, for this. And I can methodically go through and look at the fine points that he's offering me. And it's going to be pretty cool. John, Guillermo, that's a new name. Anybody who's here for the first time, please, would you tell me who you are, what's the name of your school, and where you're tuning in from? I'm very grateful when I'm able to embrace that and see that, okay? George, sir, are you coming in November, George? I believe you said that. I'd love to see you again. Michelle, Marie, Michael, sir. Welcome, Michael. Yeah, George, you're right. Because, it is our business. It is our life. Don't just simply farm it out to somebody because you're lazy or you don't think you're good at it, right? When you get to a certain point financially, you do want to farm out your lawyer, your accountant, your bookkeeper, our janitorial, even our window cleaning, we farm out. We farm out as much as we can and outsource it, as one would say. But I want to know enough about every aspect of my business to talk to people, to be able to embrace that. I want to be able to talk to my accountant. I want to be able to talk to a lawyer, be able to sit there and talk tech language, with Facebook and stuff. That's important. Do not just leave your fate up to somebody else. That's insane. Why would anybody do that? So I respect that, George. Brandon, Kevin, good to see you there. Oh, my brother Jadi. What's up, Jadi, sir? Julian, Zen, Lawrence, Lawrence, good day today. Again, I'm sorry that Maddie cried a little bit, but she got so much stronger today. We had a self-defense workshop, and this is one of our dads, Lawrence, and his daughter got shaken a little in this, bully workshop, not self-defense, bully defense. But man, she got strong. I watched her grow before my eyes, Lawrence. She grew and she got stronger. And through the couple of tears she shed, she got stronger. And I was so proud. She broke an adult-sized board. And how old is she? She's young. She's still in elementary school, and she broke an adult-sized board. Again, those are the types of things, And I believe if you communicate that well to your parents, that we're only going to get stronger by challenging our kids. We're not going to make them stronger by dumbing it down. And I say that passionately. I believe a lot of educators, and I want you to listen to me, teachers, we're all educators. If you dumb down your curriculum for them, so at the end of the day, everybody is good, and you walk out that door going, yay, I was awesome, right? Everybody's great. But by raising the bar in that curriculum, what happens is some people are going to flounder, but it's going to challenge them to elevate their game. And it's messy. It got messy today, huh, Larry? It got messy. It got a little messy, but you know what? She got better. And that's what we also realize as martial artists, is that we have to be mindful of that. Don't dumb down your curriculum so you can walk out at the end of the day and say, yay, everybody's great. Raise that bar in the curriculum, raise that standard, and challenge people to elevate their game to it. Can I get I feel you? Type that in there. Don, is it something like a Udemy course? What does that mean? Stephen, do you know what that means? Udemy? I don't know what Udemy is, Don. If somebody can help us with that, that'd be great. Wow, my third one today. Thank you, Stephen. I'm gracious. I'm grateful. I know Chris Malloy watches a lot of my stuff, and it's helped his businesses phenomenally, and I'm grateful for that. Yes, Don. Okay, so Stephen, yes, it is an Udemy. Udemy? Can someone help me with that? Except specifically for martial arts schools. Okay. What's up, Mrs. O'Keefe? You're welcome, Lawrence. Danny, Maria, Morgan, Jessica, George. Oh, good. Get signed up, George. It's filling up. It's filling up for November. Anyone who's coming to It's Time Live Encore with me, Brannon Beliso, it is filling up. Gratefully. Jim, welcome, Jim, sir. Michael St. John, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Jody, I like this guy. Who do you like, Jody? Scott Smith, Lawrence, Professor, you did a great job. Yeah, I push it sometimes, and I want to because I want our kids to be safe. I got a 6-year-old daughter. I just want them to be safe. And that's sometimes we've got to challenge that, John, sir, can you tell me what is the cost to get the Facebook products that you are getting? I'm reviewing this course right now. Stephen, can you share that? Can you share that, Stephen, how much this course is going to be? Mr. Randy Reed. I would consider Randy a friend and a mentor. Don't let his demeanor fool you. He is a very smart man. He just plays it down. He's a very smart man, and I'm grateful to call him friend. Donovan, sir, Tony, K1, Udemy is an online website that allows people to train others in various things through video training. Great. Chris Malloy. Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Chris. I really am. I mean, I remember when you and I first started talking, so what is that, maybe 2 years ago? The place where your mindset was, where your head was at. And it's just so wonderful to see your success, to add 300 students in 20 months, and you've probably grown a lot since then. I'm so grateful for that, sir. Super grateful. Don Bovin, come on, I see a lot of new names here. What's the name of your school and where you're tuning in from? Please offer us that. And let's open it up. This is Success Never Sleeps with me, Brannon Beliso, presented by Rainmaker Membership Systems and Software. Please go ahead and start typing in those questions. And while I'm waiting for that first question, I just want to thank everybody. I shared that post on Thursday that my cousin passed away. And my cousin, who I grew up with, we actually were roomies for a while. I was in college or somewhere in there. He passed away. Yeah, he got a kidney transplant and it didn't take, and he never gained consciousness. And we didn't expect it, but as I shared with everybody, and his daughter, who I've only met a handful of times, had commented on it. Her name's Tia, is that he really was about that. The peace and serenity that my cousin offered because of his faith and his belief in God, and he was a Jehovah's Witness, and that was his thing. It was pretty amazing. When I had lunch with him last year, in Seattle. I was up there doing some seminars, and he shared with me, I didn't know about his medical condition, and he shared it with me, and his absolute unwavering faith in that whatever was going to happen was God's will for him was pretty powerful. And I shared that in one of the posts, and K1 posted that for me, one of my videos. You know, in the words of George Michael, you got to have faith. You got to have faith. And being a small business owner is hard. And if you don't have some type of faith, then I think we're lost. Because there's going to be really hard days, really dark days in growing that business. And if you don't have that ability to believe, whatever that might be for you, whatever that might be, if you don't have some type of faith in something that you believe you're going to get over this and it's going to be better, right? That's when you throw up your arms and you say, forget it. And you fail. Remember, you only fail when you quit. And what stops us from quitting is that unwavering belief in the vision of what we want to do, right? Of what we want to do. So I think that's really important. I just want to share that. Thank you for all the kind words. I'm going to honor my cousin every day by continuing my relationship of understanding and learning, and spirituality. That's very important for me. It's very, very important, especially in the state of the world today. I can't just rely upon material things. I need to rely upon something higher. When you open that school and it's you teaching every day, cleaning the floor, taking the money, all that, you got to have faith. You got to have faith that it won't always be this way. And if I do the right things, I take the right steps, that my business is going to flourish and grow. You feel me? Very important. All right, Joseph. Here's somebody else. Joseph from Mentor, Ohio. Welcome, Joseph, sir. K1, Udemy is okay. So, Stephen, are you going to type in there how much the course is? I got a couple of great questions here. So first of all, Stephen's asking, you have an unusual class schedule. Can you explain it a bit more? I was lost in one of your videos of AB schedule. It's AB day. So meaning to say, Stephen, we have a set of students coming and we have 5 classes on Monday, 5 on Wednesday. Those people are coming twice a week, right? So Monday is their A day, all curriculum. Wednesday is their B day, all sparring, drills, conditioning, all that, and actual sparring. So in creating that schedule, we're doing roughly, if you figure, 20 kids in each class. That's 100. So there's 100 students there. You do the same thing Tuesday and Thursday, 5 classes, 5 classes. There's another 100. Now you've put in 200 students. Then you do that on Friday and Saturday, hypothetically. There's another 100 students. So there's 300. Us, we have 3 training floors in San Francisco. We have 2 in Millbrae right now. So we can double that number. So with 3 training floors in San Francisco, imagine that. We're running classes simultaneously. So now you have 10 classes and 10 classes with 20 kids in each classes. How many is that? That's 200, right? So no, 10 and 10, right? So there's your 200. Then we do it again on Tuesday and Thursday. Now we're at 400, Stephen. Then we do it on Friday and Saturday or Friday and Sunday. There's your 600. You feel me? So we understand that the real estate is very important. And if you let people come unlimited whenever they want and there's no particular class schedule, you're never going to grow your school that way. You'll be top heavy one class with 50, 60 people because they show up whenever they want. Next class you have 3. So it's not good for staffing or anything. You want people assigned to an A-B day, Stephen. Does that help? Does that help? I hope it does, Stephen. Ask me more. So Randy's asking, what makes some people take action and others not? Fear of failure or fear of success? Well, I think there's a lot of variables there, Randy. In my book, I talk about it passionately. For me, it was a dad that I could never be perfect for. I would get straight A's and my dad would say, how come you got an A minus? So I needed to be so perfect in everything that I did because there was no room for error with my father. I could not make mistakes. That's the way he was. And so I got to the point where I was paralyzed. I would never venture outside. Anywhere I was going to look dumb, anywhere I was going to make mistakes, anywhere I was going to failure. But I realized the key to success is change. And with change comes that uncertainty. So Randy, sir, there's tons of mistakes to be made. So it really is, I think when you talk about what makes some people take action and others not, the action is the byproduct of, number one, first correcting your mindset. And I'm really passionate on creating a success mindset. And there's so many habits that come into that. Journaling, meditation, understanding what success means for you, understanding what's bad habits you need to break. There's so many variables in that, but it really first is about creating the right mindset. because that mindset, every thought, every dream, every action begins from that mind. Right, Randy, sir? We all agree upon that. So once I have that mindset, I don't really believe it's taking action or others not. Action is just a natural byproduct of embracing a success mindset, which embraces change, which embraces that uncertainty, because because you have a clear vision what your business is going to look like in 3 to 5 years. You walk that path of uncertainty because you know what's at the other end. You truly do. You truly do. So I think that part is important as well. And fear is a great motivator. And it's not just a fear of failure, because I fail every day. I fail the minute I put both feet on the ground and I get up. I recognize that. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a good way, because I wake up prepared to fail, because I know through that failure is some of my best learning, and it's going to get me to success. I'm an innovator. I'm a disruptor. There's no data out there for what I'm doing. I'm creating stuff that doesn't exist. So I'm going to fail more than the average Joe. But you know what it's better than? Simply standing in line like sheep being led to slaughter and following people in their way because they say it's lore, because they can post at Facebook, whether it's fake news or not, that they make $1 billion and you should listen to them because they've got their click funnel down and it looks so groovy and cool that you buy into it. I don't believe in that. I would rather fail on my own terms than to succeed based upon someone else's. And that's part of what I hope I do by example, is I inspire and I encourage you to decide what is success for you, to encourage you through my failures, to embrace your failures as part of the path to success. It truly is. It truly is. And I'm cool with all that. So that's a really long answer, Randy, but it's one that I want to be mindful of. It's not fear by itself. It starts with cultivating. You never get to fear if you can't cultivate the success mindset. Because once you cultivate the success mindset, you wake up with your fears every day. And it's not a fear of failure or success. It's fear, period. Fear. And so once I embrace fear like a best friend, Randy, if I embrace my fear and I go, man, fear, you're my best buddy. We're going to get through this thing together. It's no longer fear of failure or success. It's just recognizing fear as part of the natural process of being a successful person. And that's okay, because if you're an innovator and you're doing new and different things, there is fear. And that's normal. We just put a lot of weight upon that. I hope that helps. Tony, Warrior MMA from Australia. Ed, Ken, John. Good, Stephen. I hope that helps. Neil, Don. If you're in new school, is it a bad idea to run a heavily discounted tuition rate and then raise as you hit volume checkpoints? Would that devalue your program? When I opened the second school, we didn't do that at all. We stuck to our guns. We behaved like Apple. We believed in our product. But what we made sure we did, Don, we were so loaded with community-based events because I have an empty school, right? I only opened Millbrae, which was different. San Francisco, I opened with 100 students because I was teaching in all these different schools and health clubs, even the Park and Rec. I opened up Millbrae with 50 signups. And again, 4 weeks in a uniform, $99. We stuck to that. We wanted to show people we're the Apple of the industry, but we made sure we had self-defense workshops for the Girl Scouts. We gave away free birthday parties to every kid in our neighborhood. We wanted to make sure we were that restaurant that was always packed, because if we're always packed, guess what? You want to go in and eat. You walk by a restaurant, nobody's in it. You're going to think twice about walking through the door. So I think it was that psychology too. We had amazing grand opening. We're already donating so much to the community, making sure that we brought them here. We did, I can't tell you how many community events. We still do them to this day. So I don't think that's a bad thing. If you're looking to a heavily discounted tuition rate up front and then raise as you hit volume checkpoints, I think the problem with that, sir, is I would think you didn't do a proper business plan to get the proper funding. Now, this is why I say that, sir. For me, again, everything I share with you guys is for me. I opened Millbrae with 6 months of rent, 6 months of payroll, 6 months of marketing, 6 months of livable wages, everything, because I did not want to live with the fear. I got to sell, I got to sell, I got to sell, got to make rent, got to make rent, got to make rent. I wanted to really come out and have that confidence and that patience to be organically build relationships of trust in the industry, because I knew once it took root, it would grow quickly. But it's like any kind of great business. You start, you rototill the ground, right? Then you fertilize it. Then you plant the seeds. Then they sprout. Then you pull out the bad ones. You keep the good ones. And you keep doing it. But you can't look at a young plant and say, give me fruit, give me fruit, give me fruit. You have to be mindful that if I tend to this crop properly, in a year or two, I'm going to yield amazing, fruit or vegetables, whatever it is you're growing. It's the same thing here, but you need to have that. And if you're going to open a business without 6 months of rent, 6 months of payroll and everything, I would be challenged with that, Don. So I want you, when you ask me that question, is it a bad idea to run heavily discounted tuition rate? I would ask you, why would you do that? Why would you want to do that, right? And even worse, I was talking to a buddy, he kept it there. So people came in at like $99 for 6 months. He's never going to raise the tuition by anything more than 10%. Again, that's insane. That mat space is prime real estate. I don't want to have one house on my mat that's worth $10 than one house that's worth $199. That's not going to help the overall property value on my mat. If you look at it that way, I want every house on my mat to be grossing $199, $199, $199. That's very important. And again, if you're always, I think the big thing we're learning now in today's market, do not promote benefits, promote values. The benefits are you'll lose 10 pounds. No, the value is that you're going to have great self-confidence, right? That's the difference. The benefit is your child will have better confidence. No, the value is your child will be goal-oriented. See, there's a different way to look at it. I think it's the same thing there. So Don, I hope that helps. But I just want to give you a little different love on that. Hey, Chris, what's up? John, I'm looking to get an instructor. Where do you recommend to go get one real good instructor that would want to work in Florida? Anytime, John, you can bring him from internally and homegrown, that's how I would roll, sir. Homegrown is always the best way. The best way is always homegrown. And I'm going to say that again and again because I truly believe that. Do I have some great instructors that we hired externally? Yes. But if we can homegrown them, they get the culture, they get the why. It's so easy. It's so easy, but it's not impossible. Now, if you're doing Taekwondo, John, I mean, there's tons of Taekwondo, where you can cross over. So there's tons of that. Pinterest, Indeed, not Pinterest. Craigslist, Indeed was another one. Care.com. So these different, Care.com is for nannies and stuff. But I know a buddy who found a preschool martial arts instructor through there. So there's a lot, but ultimately, John, if you don't have a team right now, you don't have bench strength, then I'm going to challenge you on that first, John, sir. If you've been around, you've been open for a while, you need to grow your team. And if you need a team right now, I take it you're past 100 and plus 150 students, because if you're only at 100 or so, you better do all the teaching yourself, John, because you cannot afford to pay somebody right. Just you run it, you get a front desk person. And as that grows, you should be planting seeds and growing that. Each year, we're looking for new crop. Each year, we're growing our instructors team. Each year, somebody new is coming on the payroll as somebody's going out. We get that. So those are the things I would look at first, John. If you're looking for outside, I would say you don't have a good system of recruitment internally, right? Internally, which is very important to build a sustainable culture. And two, are you creating a company that people want to work for if people are leaving you? So again, John, I think it's really about asking the right questions. And if you ask me this question, it may not be the right question. Does that make sense to you, sir? I hope it does. Stephen, okay, what if someone wants to train more? Also, do you have a specific class or once a week students, or can they pick any curriculum? No, we schedule them in, sir. They don't simply come to any class they want, because as I share, it causes overcrowding. For example, we have a makeup class policy. We find the kids Monday through Thursday, if they want to makeup, they use Friday, Saturday, and it's packed here. Then it's not fair to the students that are registered in Friday and Saturday. So certain classes are closed, and we're mindful of that, sir. Now, if somebody wants to train more, do that. We did a bully defense workshop today. In San Francisco, we have an 8 a.m. practice class you can come to for free. Once a month, at the end of the month, we do a makeup stripe workshop. We have that at the end of the month. So we have ways they can attend other classes without paying more, because perceived added value, hear that? Say it one more time. Perceived added value is the big thing. I give you $199, you give me $300 worth of value, I'm a happy camper. So it's the same thing here. Can you offer those types of workshops for additional training and things that will help them? And we know realistically, nobody needs to come 3-4 days a week. You know what they need to do? Learn the discipline of practice. Practice is the key to mastering life. And you look at a lawyer, look at a doctor. It's not a job, it's not a career, it's my practice, because what that mentally is supposed to tell them, I'm always practicing and improving my craft. It's the same thing here. The part of the martial arts that tends to get overlooked is we don't really make sure people practice, and they need that to really learn self-discipline. It's easy in the school here, supervised, but when they're required to go home and practice, that's a different day. So I don't think people should be coming to your school 4 or 5 days a week, sir. They're going to burn out, and you end up being a babysitter, right? I've seen that, where the kid's there every day, and he's not really practicing, and you're just like becoming this glorified babysitter for this kid to hang out at your school. Please be mindful of that. Does anybody feel me on that? Anybody been there? Excellent. Who else we have? Ed. Stephen Oliver's here. Welcome, Stephen, sir. Leo, Don, George. Could an A/B schedule work when you have multiple systems? I may not be the best person to answer that question, sir. You know why? Because I don't have multiple systems. I did at one point. We had Qigong, Aikido, Tai Chi, kickboxing. I really envisioned this Eats, Me, Sweats gym and all these people working together. But I found, though, there was no definitive focus in our school, and each program had a little bit of people. And I went, well, what's wrong with this? It's like all these different infractions and fractions, and they never connected in any shape, way, or form. So when I eliminated all that, I went back to Kempo Karate. By then we were able to make rent and everything. Then I really honed in and focused on teaching one thing and doing it really, really well. And I say that, George, because, I don't want to be a buffet. You go to Vegas and this is good and this is a little good, but is any of the food ever really, really great? I think not. If I want Italian, I go to a great Italian restaurant. So I might encourage that just from my experience. And I can't speak for multiple systems, George. What I can tell you is when I got rid of the multiple systems and I began to focus on one thing and do it really, really, really well, which was Kempo Karate, and not abandoning my art, but learning to teach it in a more relevant, age-specific, and skill level manner, everything changed. Everything changed. 75% of our revenue till this day is from traditional Kempo Karate classes. Cool? Hey, Steve Barkley, sir. Don O'Neill. Leo. Charles. Adam. Wow. Jennifer. Tony. Oh, you got to leave us, Tony? That's okay, sir. I'll catch us later. Thank you for sharing that. Most people just leave. That's very kind of you, sir. Paul. Daniel. Master Amerivich, sir. Discovery Martial Arts. John, I understand you, sir. Just I grow in our after school. I have 90 after school in the last. That's good. If you got a great after school program, John, and that's working for you, fine. Do you really need a martial arts instructor, or do you need somebody that loves to work with kids, that's working in college towards a degree in child education? Maybe that's what you need for your after school program, sir, more than a martial arts instructor, right? Maybe. Joseph, sir, welcome, Joseph. Daniel. John, and I don't want to get young kids to teach young kids. I understand that, sir. But I think, again, for us, I recognize early on our demographic for employment. Our number one source of employment is high school and college kids, sir. I see that's how you feel, and I respect that. But I've got some 16-year-olds that rock. The guy who runs San Francisco is 25, and I don't have to step a foot in San Francisco. So that's why I really became a big E-Myth guy. If you read E-Myth, which is based upon systems, Michael Gerber really talks about that. He used Ray Kroc and the McDonald's model. Now, we're not McDonald's, but what was fascinating about that, John, is that they took the lowest common denominator. I don't say that in a bad way. Remember, most high school, college kids have very little work experience, very little work ethic, right? Very little. But most of them are a black belt or a junior black belt or something like that in our school. He recognized that when you write those systems, John, for ordinary people to perform extraordinarily, that's when you got a great system. I would put my 16-year-old instructors up against any old school martial arts instructor out there, because you know why? I know their teaching is innovative, it's advanced, and it's relevant and age-specific and skill level specific, right? That's the huge difference. The huge difference. So I wouldn't discount that, John. I might consider you rethink that. And if you came and watched my young people teach, it's something you might consider, right? But I feel you, right? You don't want young kids to teach young kids. I feel you on that. A lot of people feel that way. But I can't tell you, when I sit there and I look at a parent, I go, that girl out there running that class is 16. And that can be your daughter. Look at her confidence. Look at her delivery. Because look at it this way, John. And again, this may not be the best example because it's McDonald's, okay? But just hear it for what it is. If you eat a quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's, do you care? Do you care, John, that it's made by a 16-year-old kid or a 50-year-old man? Go. You don't, right? Who feels me on that? Who feels me on that? Type that in. You don't. You know why? Because it's consistently through systems delivered at the same level of quality that that person buying the quarter pounder with cheese expects. It's what they expect. And it's the same thing here. Cool? Joseph, what are the ups and downs of all-inclusive memberships, which includes monthly fees and testing? The only downside, and there's always a downside, and I would agree with people on this, it leaves us in a bit of a volatile position because any day, we don't even have a 30-day cancel. That's how much we believe in our product, right? You can walk in here, if your next due date is October 1st, you can cancel on us like that. That is the only volatility of that position. But you and I both know if somebody wants out of your contract, they will find a way out. They will find a way out, right? Or even worse, how many of you have contracts, and type it in, I want you to own this. How many of you have contracts but would never take somebody to collections on it? Go. Type it in. Own it. How many of you are using contracts right now and would never take somebody to court on it? Go. So, much like some of the great companies out there, and there's many of them out there now that simply do month to month. They do month to month because they believe in their product that much. And my feeling about it is, hey, if we serve you well, you stay. And if we don't, we do not deserve your business. We don't. We believe in each and every time you walk into our school and take a class, we want to earn your business. I love being in that position. It keeps my team on their toes. And as we say, you cannot have a bad class. You can't. And we recognize that. And we're totally cool with that. And the other thing, the upside of that, what an easy entry point. Joseph, such an easy entry point. And at $1.8 million last year between two locations, each one is 3,700 square feet. I know per square foot that we're up there with the top 1%. This year we'll do 1.9 million, 1.9. So it's growing. So it does have this type of business model. One has legs. I have data to prove it has legs. Talk to Chris Malloy. All they did was draw contracts and improve his service. 300 students in 20 months. I know it's radical thinking, and people are so afraid of it. Why? Because they've never done it before. Just because you've never done it doesn't mean it doesn't work. I have data to prove it works, right? Talk to Kevin Waldsmith. When I started working with him, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 maybe, he was down around 300K a year. This year he'll do 1.2 million and he has 3 schools. It's crazy, right? But it's not. Think like a mom. Think like your demographic, Joseph. You ask any mom, would you prefer a contract or month to month? What do you think they're going to say to you? Type it in, people. Own it. Jason, how long have you been doing no contracts and testing fees? Is this something you have always done, or did you transition from contracts? I never had contracts, but I did month to month at 209, 3 months at 199, 6 months at 189, 1 year at 179. We did that, and we used to have bell testing fees at $35. Again, Disney experience, eliminate the obstacles. So we haven't done it now, I would say a decade, probably 10 years. We broke our first million in 2007, and we've just continued to grow since then. And again, it's not for everybody. I know people who are very successful with contracts, upgrades, and all that. Master Clark, who I have nothing but respect for. Again, it's understanding what are your values for you, right? What are you okay with? I am not okay with it. And that's the big difference. Because the bottom line is you have to live it, sell it, believe it, do it. And I know people who do contracts, bell testing fees, all of it. And they feel justified in every bit of it. And their schools are extremely successful. Again, this is just another way. Is it a better way? I don't know. Only you can decide that for you. I can't decide that for you. Cool? Titus. Hey, Titus. The husband and wife team. Daniel, sir. Welcome. Again, all the new people coming on board, would you please, please, please tell me where you're tuning in from and what's the name of your school? Lots of new people here. K1, sir, you mentioned that if under 100 students, you should be teaching all the classes. However, my question is, how can you build the business away from a personality-based business if you're the only face students and parents see? You've got to make that transition eventually, K1. But if I have 100 students, I cannot afford to pay somebody, nor should I. When I opened my school, 17-hour days, 7 days a week until I got it to a certain level, then I brought on an assistant. After I brought on this, well, we brought on front desk, then an assistant, and we just grew organically that way. But I saw at that one point, K1, and I want to share that. I was running 500 students. We broke $1 million, but I was still teaching 30, 40 hours a week. What a volatile position to be in. That's why I ask everybody right now, if you got sick or hurt, how long would it be before your school closed? You and I both know it's a matter of months, for some of us a year. Fortunately, again, by the grace of God, I can say my schools run without me. And that's important because I'm doing a disservice to my family, leaving them in that volatile position if I got sick or hurt or died, right? I don't want to do that. I have a wife, I have a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, I have a mortgage. No way. No way. So that's where that naturally happened. But K1, in the beginning, it will be personality driven. You don't have a team. Right? But what I do encourage you to do every day is put a block of time aside for 2 hours and write those systems to replace you. Everything that you currently do in your business with 100 students, write those systems to replace you. And in the words of Kiyoshi Kovar, plant seeds early and often. You are constantly looking for your second. What is your second? The person to replace you. Once I got that mindset as an entrepreneur, I'm looking for a second. Who's going to replace me? Who's going to replace me? And I cultivated that. Everything changed. Everything changed. So it is. I mean, it's fine for a period of time, but eventually if you don't transition, you are a personality-driven business and it'll never grow. It just won't. Sergio, sir, Master Maravich is saying, yeah, he was here. He witnessed my team and he says, I was there. Your team is amazing. That's because they are trained through systems. And that's what we're talking about. McDonald's is a billion dollar industry, right, by itself. And it's based upon high school kids, college kids. So don't discount that. Really, because they've grown up in your culture. You get some guy outside that's an adult that doesn't get it, doesn't get your why. It's like pushing a big rock up a hill. He'll come in, want to teach his way because 1, you don't have systems in place. 2, you don't have a way to grow your instructors anyways. So if you're hiring people from the outside, I would believe those things aren't in place. So you're not going to bring this guy aboard, John, and be able to train him to do it your way. You're not. So be mindful of that. You've got to write those systems. You got to have that instructor's training program. What we talk about is a school within your school. A school to train people to run your schools. Super important. So don't forget that. Eagle Martial Arts, welcome. That's a new one, Eagle Martial Arts. Sunny, sir. Good evening, Sunny, sir. Joseph, Greg, all the way from Canada. George, I have contracts and offer 60 days cancellation notice. Will never take anyone to court. So there you go, George. So why have contracts? It's such a false sense of security. And somebody tried to tell me that, well, you want all those contracts in case you go to the bank for a loan. The bank don't care. All they want to see is what is your debt, what is your credit, how much you have in the bank, what's your ability to pay that loan. I never, and when he opened up Millbrae, I got a $230,000 loan. They never asked me how many students I have under contract. Never. So please think about that and be mindful of that, okay? Right? And so, George, I'm going to challenge you on that. Again, I want to remove all obstacles. Belt testing fees was an obstacle. Walking up to that mom, and the kid's done with testing, they hadn't paid the fee yet, and go, excuse me, mama, could you come to the front desk? We want to promote John. And all of that's uncomfortable. Think about how much paperwork and administrative time I eliminated with 1,000 students by getting rid of belt testing fees. Go. Think about it, that alone. And all we did was roll it into the cost. So it's not like it's not there. We didn't have these enormous belt testing fees, but we just rolled them into our tuition. It's not that big of a deal. It just creates better service, creates that Disney experience. They'll never perceive you as nickel and diming them. That's what that's about. That's all that's about. So Sonny wouldn't take him either. George wouldn't either, right? Jason. How do you have your program set up to sell in Rainmaker without it being a contract? Well, all we have is a simple waiver that we turn to a service agreement. And it just says, you'll agree to play this month to month through EFT, right? Through your checking account or through your credit card. We'll deduct the same amount every month and they sign it and agree to it. And when you say stop, we stop. That's all it is. But it's not a contract, not by far, because any 30 days, all they got to do is come up today and cancel. So it's much different. People have tried to sell me on that. No, you have a contract. No, I don't. It's a simple agreement between two people. You'll pay us until you stop coming. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's not hard. And through Rainmaker, we just changed the verbiage some and set that up, Jason. Yeah. See, and the reason that doesn't work for me, the 30-day cancellation, one guy even has a 90-day cancellation. We know what that's for, to get them to refocus, re-energize, recommit. We got 90 days to win them back over. It's like any relationship. I look at my students as a relationship, any kind of relationship. If a girl is breaking up with you that day, she didn't break up with you that day. She broke up with you months ago. She just didn't know how to tell you. So what you want to do is try to have systems in place to spearhead that off. You'll see they're not earning their tips. You'll see through Rainmaker, boom, they'll let you know who's on the MIA list, automatically generated. You know, there's all these different things in place to indicate, losing interest. So you want to head that thing off at the pass. People don't quit that day. They've quit long before they ever came to you. And if you have the right systems in place, you can see that and recognize that and reduce that attrition rate way ahead of time. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope it does. Stephen, I talked to Kevin Waldsmith and he got me doing what you're saying, and it is amazing. It's radical. I know it's radical. My thinking is radical. I've been called a disruptor. That's the new tag I've gotten. You know, I'm called a disruptor. I've come into an industry and I've introduced a new way of doing business that is succeeding. Everybody around me here does contracts. We walked in and went boom, and we're at 400 students in 2.5 years. I think those are good numbers. For me, they are. Maybe not for some people, but all these guys around me are scratching their head going, what are they doing? Well, it's an easy. You have contracts. I don't. My service is 10 times better. My delivery, my execution, our community service, everything is 10 times better. So who are they going to pick? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So be mindful of that. At least we're different to the point where we draw that why and they get that from us. Okay? Oh, so thanks, Kevin. Thanks a lot for doing that. K1 month to month, John month to month, Don O'Neill month to month. Yay! Let's start rocking it. Duran, sir. How you doing, sir? Good evening. George, Sergio. I do 30 days for 4 to 6-year-olds. Yeah. But again, you know, you guys with the contracts and the cancellation, how is that working? All right, George, I don't want to call you out. I'm just going to say, you know, how long you've been open, how many students you have. You don't have to answer me. And if you can tell me you're not happy with that, then I would evaluate that part of my business too. And I see so many schools in our industry with contracts, upgrades. One guy had this enrollment fee for $150, and I challenged him the other night. I said, what is the $150 for? Well, that's for your membership, and you get a uniform, and you get to be part of the association. I'm a mom with a 6-year-old kid. I don't give a tar about your association. I know nothing about it. I find zero value in that at this point. So I'm going to pay you $199. His was $190. I'm going to pay you $189 a month, correct? That's for the service, for the teaching, correct? Great. What is this other $150 enrollment fee for? What is it for? Well, that's, you know, to set up your membership. It's your enrollment fee. Again, what is it for? What value do I get? Right? I walk into a store. I give somebody $150. I walk out there with some kind of tangible product, eyeglasses, something. I give you $150 of my money, and what do you give me for it? Zero, nothing. Or you use it as a bargaining chip. Well, you're not sure you want to sign up today? Well, guess what? If you sign up today, I'll drop the $150. To me, that's bogus. That's bogus, and I don't believe in it. See, this is all based upon values. It doesn't mean my way is better or right or wrong. It's based upon my set of values, what I think is good for me. So when I lay my pillow down at the end of the day, I'm cool with what I've done. That's all this is about, and you need to find that for you. But if those contracts aren't working for you, if you're still at 100-something students, you've been open, 7 years or better, then you and I need to have a conversation about doing business differently. Because I would believe at a heart level, at a value level, you don't really believe in contracts. You really don't believe in upgrades. You really don't believe in enrollment fees or bell testing fees. You're simply like sheep, falling in line, following the status quo because it tells you you're going to make money this way. People make money a lot of ways, but if it doesn't resonate with my values, why would I do it? One of the richest men in the world is a drug dealer. Am I going to go deal drugs? No, it's not within my value system. You feel me? It's the same thing here. Don't simply follow someone because they're making a lot of money. Follow them because their values resonate with you. It's something to believe in, something you believe in. Can I get I feel you on that? Sergio, we do 3 months minimum, just like soccer and baseball leagues. Yeah, you can. But why don't we up that? If we do month to month, then we're doing better than a soccer league. We're doing better than a baseball league, right? Better than that. We're saying, hey, you don't have to do 3 months here. We'll do month to month. And each day you walk through the door, we're going to earn your business. The bottom line, Sergio, if you're happy with that, if your numbers are working for you, then so be it. See, I was able to take something that had no data. There was no data that this way could be successful. A lot of starving martial artists out there that don't do belt testing fees, don't do contracts. They're starving. The difference is we're not. We're not, right? And we're doing really well with it. See, that's the big, big difference. But we understand so many other elements that brought back that up, right? So again, are you getting the results you want? Contracts or not, are you getting the results you want? And if you're not, then you seriously need to look at every aspect of your business. That's what this is about. Duran, hey, sir. What's up, Lynn? Stephen, since we started your way, I've never taken anyone in the office. I talked to them in front of everyone. I would have never done that before. So much relief and peace of mind telling people about our programs. It is. It is. It is. Greg, my schools can't run without me. I love it. It's good. If you're good with that, Greg, my schools can run without me. Yay, Greg. I knew you. I'm saying, man, you're one of my It's Times guy. Are you saying that right? And so, yeah, Stephen, that's it. It's for me too. Both our locations, there is no office. People trip. Where's the office? Where do you close people? If we do our job from front to back, they simply walk up to the front desk and it's a transaction. I say, watch. As we were having that conversation, somebody walks up to the front desk. My trial's ending. How do I sign up? So there you go. See how easy that was? And it's just a POS system, rock and roll, done. If you have to sit down and close somebody, as they say, I'm going to close this person, that's awful. That means it's over. It's done. You're closed. You're done. No way. No way. If anything, I want to keep planting seeds. I want to keep building your trust. I want to empower you. And when you walk through that front desk and you make that choice to continue with us, how empowering is that? Sit me in a controlled environment, like an office, and sit there and go through your little sales pitch, your song and dance. No way. That doesn't build trust to me. Does not build trust at all. And I get it all the time in other things that I do. Everything that I do, there's someone always trying to sell me something. I'm a business owner, and we've all had that song and dance. How does that feel to you? Tell me, how does that feel to you? Type it in. You're welcome, K1. Michael. Leonard Henderson, that's a new name. Anybody coming aboard that's here for the first time, would you please tell me the name of your school and tell me where you're tuning in from. I see we have Australia, we have Canada in the house. Do we have anybody else from out of the country? Thank you for the hearts, everybody. I'm very grateful. Jason, do you have people that do not want to pay EFT credit card? No. Oh, what we do there? Yeah, we either take it out of your checking account or we will take it from your credit card. We do offer a 1-year pay in full at 10% off. But we frown upon it. We discourage it. We don't promote it. You know why? Because I don't want cash outs. I simply do not want cash outs. That's such a misconception. I got this big month of this much money. The next month it's freaking, $15,000. It's not cool. I'm a cash-based business. I want cash in, cash out every month. And I want a steady flow of it. So be careful with those cash outs. We leave them there for our existing members, to give them that added value. But I'm mindful. We get you for a whole year. We drip that money into our accounts each month. Cool? Michael, when switching to no testing fees, how do you introduce the increase of monthly tuition to your current student? We're already at month to month and no upgrades. It's very easy. We do 3-month belt cycles. January to March, April is belt testing, right? May, June, July. Then August is belt testing. Guess what? September, we drop belt testing fees altogether. Anybody new coming through the door, we increased our tuition across the board by $10 because we're only charging $35 every 4 months. Times that by 3, you got $120, $140. We just figured we round it off to $120. So we simply increased our tuition by $10 a month. September, anybody new coming through the door, guess what? We have no belt testing fees, no enrollment fees, no contracts. Boom. They were happy to pay that new price. Existing students, they got grandfathered in. They're going, wow, no belt testing fees. Come December, I'm going to get free belt testing. How super cool is that, right? I don't have to pay that $35. Well, guess what? October, Come January, increasing tuition across the board by $10. November, December. But in those 3 months, we offered the cash out. We offered the cash out. So they're going, wow, I can pay you for 1 year paid in full, 10% off, and no bell testing fees. How cool is that? But eventually, please get this clear. Everybody's got to be paying the current tuition. You guys that sit there and grandfather people in, and they're paying you $69 20 years later a month, that's, again, that mat is prime real estate. Anybody who's standing on that mat, I want it to be the same amount across the board. I want to look out there and go, $199, $199, $199, $69? Free. Oh yeah, that's right. The first 2 are full and the rest of the family is free. They're a family of 8. Wow. $199, $199, free, 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 free. That is not good. That is not good. Does anybody see that picture with me? So I hope that helps, sir. That'll help you. And Michael, if you don't get that, hit me up with that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to revolutionize what you do. Revolution. And you know what? I really saw that really made me think about it. My team was so adamant to have to go to a parent in the waiting area and say, excuse me, sir, can you come here? Can you talk to me for a minute? Your son finished testing. Can you go to the front desk, take care of that bell testing fee? Gone. And you will never see a review in any of the review sites that says, one martial arts, nickels and dimes us. They're all about the money. You will never hear that, ever. Daryl, sir, that's a new name. Daryl Pendry. Welcome, Daryl Pendry. Randall Phillips, another new name. Adrian, what's happening, man? So the new people coming aboard, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from and the name of your school. Joseph, sir, inclusive testing fees. What if Johnny's mom comes to class and says, my son wants to test? We have paid with our monthly membership. Why can't he test? I know you all say wait until next testing. However, Johnny's mom is mad because she has paid twice. You got to reword that for him. Let me see if I can figure that out. What if Johnny's mom comes to me and says, my son wants to test? We have paid with our monthly membership. Why can't he test? I know you will say, wait till next testing. However, now Johnny's mom is mad because she has paid twice. How has she paid twice? Help me with that, Joseph. I'm not getting that full question. George, I've been open for 9 years with 160 students. Not happy with that. Okay, thank you, George. And I love you, sir. You know, I have great respect for you because you're a good martial artist. You really own your business and you're trying to find ways to make it better, whatever that might be, right? Whatever that might be, George, you're looking and at least you're doing that. And that's, I believe you're going to hit it. Whatever winning combination you're going to need, George, I believe you're going to hit that, you know? So George is saying that 9 years, 160 students. So it doesn't work for him. So something needs to change. And maybe it's not dropping contracts though, George. Maybe it's looking at the way the curriculum's taught. What are the programs? What are your operating hours? Who's the instructors? Are they trained well? Are you creating that Disney experience? I believe every element of your business needs to be addressed. Maybe you need to rebrand. Maybe you need to rebrand, you know, and look at that. I saw one guy's school and they have, I don't know, it was a jiu-jitsu school. And I think he had a picture of a horse dressed in a jiu-jitsu gi and he was kicking somebody and it was called like, you know, I don't know, crazy horse jiu-jitsu. I'm not bringing my kid there. I'm sorry. I'm not. There's nothing that's compelling about that. And it's a picture of a horse with stuff blowing out of his nose and he was kicking some guy or something. It's just, you know, so be mindful of your brand. It could be your brand, George. There's so many different elements. And it's kind of like that TV series, Restaurant Impossible. He comes into that business. First thing he does is taste the food. First thing I would do if you brought me in, I would watch your curriculum and watch your instructors, right? Taste the food, see how they deliver it, the wait staff. And then you go from there. You know, one of the first things I do when I work with school owners, I walk in and I walk into your bathroom. I know that's crazy, right? And if I walk in your bathroom and it's freaking dirty, I know you have major problems because you know why? You're missing the little things. You need to be detail-oriented, detail-oriented. And something as simple as your bathroom, if it's not kept clean, done day. I remember working one school and it was 2014 and in the front of his waiting area and we had the brochures and stuff, he had a brochure holder with a cancer breast walkathon from 2011. It's 2014. You never noticed that thing was outdated? You never noticed that? That would be an indication that that's a mindset thing. Remember, successful people, it's not the little things that matter. It's everything that matters. Everything that matters. Can I get a, I feel you in there. K1, service before profits, have values. I feel it is. You know, you guys saw that post that just came to us from 2012. Who saw that one? We did a bone marrow cancer drive in our school. Bone marrow cancer, because it was a kid in the neighborhood who had cancer. And of course, it was very time sensitive. Somebody approached us and said, can we do a bone marrow cancer drive in your school? So they take all the swabs, right? And 5 years later, this woman sent us that email. Did anybody see that? Who saw that? Who saw that? Well, she was thanking us. The way it looked, her son made it. And did I make money off of that? No. Right? Did I get referrals off of that? I don't know. Maybe the mom's been telling people that story all this years, about our school. Who knows? It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. We even had to cancel classes to accommodate that because it was time sensitive. It needed to happen right away. It's the right thing to do. And you being in the position you're in, you have that opportunity to impact your community and help them. Stop thinking about getting more leads. What's my ROI? Getting more leads, getting my ROI. Think about service, because service, I believe, is the new profit. Greg, we don't do trials. We just go straight to auto pay monthly. There you go. You come in your door and Greg just puts you on a membership. Good. Robbie Lindbergh, a new name also, Chad Cannon. Anybody who's new coming aboard, would you please share with me the name of your school and where you're tuning in from? Jason, do people generally wait until their 4-week trial has ended before joining a full membership? Do you offer an incentive for trials to convert to full students early? No, absolutely freaking not. I'll tell you why. I want them to experience the full breadth of our culture. And the 4-week was a magic number, because in most of our youth programs, within 4 weeks, you're going to earn 2 stripes on your belt heading towards yellow belt. If it's my preschool excellent kids program, you've earned 4 life skill stripes on your belt in 4 weeks. So the parent sees progress. Second, you earn 3 life skills badges. When we sign you up and you try out and put on your uniform, you get the family badge and the student parent handout for family, which you earn at home from your mom and dad. So in youth classes, within 4 weeks, they earn 2 life skill badges: discipline and focus, confidence, whatever. So again, tangibles. The parent has all these life skills. They have progress because there's stripes on their belt. That's tangible. They have life skill badges. That's tangible. They've sat in that waiting area and talked to other moms for 4 weeks? Really getting, those are our best. Our tribe, our raving fans, right? Parents talk. And then lastly, they would have come to one community event. Hopefully our free parents' night out. Now, in 4 weeks, if I haven't convinced you through our service and what we do, then we suck. We don't deserve your business. And we'll go back to the drawing board to improve upon that. And our conversion rate is pretty high. It's like 75%. But understand, and I'm going to say this openly, when you do month to month, there is the volatility that people can quit. So we'll have that. At the end of the summer, it sucks for us. We drop. But you know what? It works itself out. We're still at 1,000. Things are rocking and rolling. You take the good with the bad. But again, what is this based upon? Values. What is this based upon? Values. Right? And if I believe in contracts and that's my gig and it's my values, rock and roll. More power to you. But again, you deal with that review when you go to Yelp and it says, don't go to that school. They nickel and dime you. They're all about the money. Every time you turn around, they turn you to reach in your pocket. And if that's cool with you, then so be it. That's okay. It's not for me to say. Again, if your values resonate this way and you feel me on it, then it's something you'll consider, right? And then that last part of that, Jason, if you sign up before the end of your trial, I'll take this $99 and I'll apply it to your down payment. That's just all smoke and mirrors, man. It is smoke and mirrors. Straight up. It's smoke and mirrors, and I don't agree with it. I walk into the Apple store, I buy a MacBook Pro, I pay this much, I walk out. There's no smoke and mirrors. You can test it out for 30 days. If you love it, we'll apply the down payment. There's none of that. None of that. One of the top 10 stocks in the world. I invest in Apple heavily. I believe in it. And I want to be the Apple of the martial arts industry. That is my purpose. That is my goal with our 2 schools. Cool? Jay Elliott, what's happening, sir? Bill Roeder. Sonny Nguyen. Hey, Sonny, what's happening, sir? Michael. Do you offer family discounts? Well, got to remember, San Francisco is one of the most childless cities in the world. So the average family is 1 to 2 kids. So that old one of, the first two people are full price, everybody else is free. That doesn't help. That doesn't help that parent. So the first person is full. The second one gets 20% off. Hey, I got 2 kids. That's a great discount. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, they all get 25% off, and that is it. That's our family discount. Peter, sir, Jim, John, sir, do you discounts for multiple family members? I do 25 for the second, then 50 for 3 members for the third member, and everyone after the 4th member is free. Again, sir, it's prime real estate. I don't agree with that. They're getting the same learning as everybody else, the same instruction, the same quality service. I don't understand that. I mean, you have a kids menu in a restaurant, you might get, a certain, but those are deep discounts, sir. Really, really deep discounts. And I don't know if I would recommend that. I don't. Jim, Kempo Karate, Katuik, Kidon, Kempo Karate. I wish I could say that because it looks so cool. I wish I could say that. Joseph, right now I have a monthly fee with a testing fee due at time of testing. I want to switch to inclusive membership that includes testing fee at a higher rate, $125 with fee of $45 to test, or switch to $145 total including testing fees. I fear parents that have kids that don't last during one testing will be upset they have double paid with the next. How are they double paying with the next, sir? They look at it as their month-to-month tuition, sir. After a while, when you just get rid of all that, nobody would ever come to me and say, I've paid for testing fees twice. It's all enrolled in your tuition. Nobody asks that because new people coming through the door, especially in Millbrae, it's never ever happened. San Francisco, I can honestly say, it's been a decade now. It's never happened. People never come at us with that. They don't because you know what? If people aren't getting the belt testing, then you're missing something in your instructions, sir. If someone's going to complain and say, hey, we missed that lab belt testing. I see it's included now in the tuition, and we didn't get charged separately for that. It's all in there now. We missed belt testing. So now I'm paying for it twice. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not, because this is our standard monthly tuition, whether your kid tests or not. You see? So I hear your perception. I really do. I hear that, sir. But I believe organically, after a while, it will not be an issue. I can tell you it's not an issue in our schools. Nobody talks about it. It's been a decade. It's farmed out. It's done. It's done. It's done. But you know what? If people aren't getting the belt testing, then you need to look at the way you're doing things, right? Right? We have instructional videos. We have a makeup class workshop. We have a makeup stripe workshop. We have all these things in place to make sure you succeed. If we need to, we comp a private. You can do paid privates. We don't want anybody getting left behind. We don't. But we want quality martial artists too. So there is that balance between the two. And if people are immersed in your culture and they're a raving fan and they really get the life skills, they get the community and everything you're building, they're not going to care about one belt. They're not. They're really not. Just what is our goal? Push them to the next belt because we got to collect that revenue. Get them to the next belt testing so we can get that revenue. Because if they don't test, they're not going to pay for that belt testing fee, and they're going to wait for the next test, right? So get them to the next testing on time. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I love the fact that we do our best job by people, but if they don't prepare properly, then they shouldn't be promoted. They shouldn't test. There's a certain amount of accountability and ownership that needs to go in there if we're going to build a better generation of kids, right? The sense of entitlement sucks. I take karate here, so I should get my belt. I paid for the belt. I should get it. No, you don't. Again, that's my values and my feelings. You got to figure out for yourself, Joseph, what rocks with you and what doesn't. What is your 4-week special? 4 weeks in a uniform for $99. They can come once a week or twice a week because we have a once-a-week program and twice-a-week program. They're entitled to either. Ray Lucas, welcome, sir. George, Greg, we adjusted our accounts to go from 134 to 179 all-inclusive. It works, but take your time. Good. We has 86 to 5 converted, and our numbers are up. See? So it does 85% converted, and our numbers are. So you could always give them that option, right? Give them that option. Stay on your contract and pay belt testing fees. But eventually, there has to be a time where that's cut off, whether that's a year down the line or whatever down the line, where you cut that out, where their contract ends and finishes, and once the contract's over, then you roll into this. You roll into this. And so there's got to be a point. Otherwise, your student value is going to be like this, and you'll never grow. And it's just not sustainable like that. Joseph, try this. Okay. Joseph's saying, hang on. Let me help you out here. I want to get this. I missed somebody? Okay, here we go. Let me read this because I want to get this for you. Okay, Joseph? 1. Johnny used to pay for testing fees every time he tests. 2. I transitioned Johnny to testing fees included in the monthly fees. 3. Testing comes around, Johnny isn't ready, but his mom feels he paid for it already. Okay, I do understand what you're saying about that, but he's not paying for that testing fee because you don't sell it that way. We've just simply moved into an all-inclusive pricing. This is our new pricing. See, for us, it was a no-brainer. You know why? We only increased our tuition by $10. We hadn't increased our tuition in 2 years. Even at 4% cost of living increase every year, that $10 is nothing. So for us, it wasn't a big deal. But if you got like dollars a year worth of belt testing fees and you got to jack up that tuition by $100, that's a different day, sir. That's it. But I hear exactly what you're saying. Again, $10 a month was nothing. So it was not a big deal for our parents. Also, because we hadn't increased tuition in 2 years. Since then, we've increased tuition a number of times. But again, added value. Why are people standing in line all night long to get an iPhone 8? Why? When they can walk in 2 weeks later and get the same phone. Who's going to put down $1,000 on an iPhone? Lots of people. Perceived added value. If they believe, even though they give you $1,000, sir, if they're getting $2,000 worth of value, they're happy. They're happy, right? But if people are moaning and groaning about a few dollars for a belt testing fee that it's included now, I don't know, right? But I hear what you're saying, Joseph, exactly, right? Over time, it won't be an issue. But again, if you increase your tuition by $100 a month or something because of your belt testing fees, that's different. But $10 was not a big deal. Nobody misses it. We don't have any paper. You know what the paperwork on 1,000 students to administer for belt testing? We have none of it. None of it. We're actually paperless in our schools. Attendance through iPads, through Rainmaker, everything is done that way. Yeah, see, Greg's saying you probably won't have that happen. Greg just implemented it. Ask Greg. It's not going to be an issue. I don't believe that. But I love that you're a great critical thinker and you do your analysis. What is the best case scenario and worst? Good. But if you focus on the best case, I think you might be more inclined to want to try it. Jim, we changed to opt-in for our 4 weeks free. Okay. We used to tell people that to do the 4 weeks and then let us know if they'd like to join. What we tell them now is, welcome to the karate studio. Your membership starts now. Your first 4 weeks are free and your tuition is not due until the 28th. If you decide that you can't stay with us for any reason, just let us know and we'll cancel your membership. They have to opt out to leave, and if they want to stay, they don't have to make any decisions at all. I'm finding that people stick around a lot more when they don't have to make a decision to stay. That's pretty cool. That's innovative, Jim. And if it's working for you, cool. Yeah, cool. And we had that today. The mom said, don't you just simply charge my credit card now that I'm a member? I said, no, we don't keep that credit card information on file until you've signed up. And she was like, wow, you guys are amazing. I said, why do you think that's a good point? You know what she said? Well, because you don't assume that I'm going to continue. You let me make that choice. I said, there you go. So think about that one, Jim. The fact that they're from day one, you don't charge them, but you take their credit card information and everything, and then they automatically getting charged on day 28, that might work for you, but I could see it working against you. I said, no, I want to do your 4-week trial. I don't know if I want to continue. Well, then give us a cancellation notice by the 28th. Am I not still making a decision? My decision, instead of to stay, Jim, is my decision to go. It's still a conversation that will need to happen. And for me, if I go for a month and I decide I want to leave and I have to cancel, I believe that would be a negative, awkward experience as compared to feeling empowered after a month and walking up to that front desk going, I want to sign up. Can anybody see that? Right? And I like to see all sides of that. Alicia, John, welcome. Jay, I forgot if you said to charge for sports parents' night out, sir. My goal is to not, so I can add service value for my students and families. Tonight we hosted our American Ninja Kid Warrior Night, had 40 kids. That's good, you had 40 kids. And did you charge for that event? For your Ninja Kid Night? No, absolutely, Joseph. I'm here to serve, and thank you for being patient with my answers as well. Adam, here's a different perspective. I have done surveys and asked parents which they would rather have, included belt fees or charge them at test time. Ironically, they said charge them. There you go. This way, they know their child is serious about continuing when the parents ask their child. There you go. There's a whole nother take, right, Adam? Again, what are your values? What are your values, right? What are your values? But I would wonder how many kids don't test because they don't want to pay that fee. The parent makes a decision, they're not ready, or they don't have that extra money that month to pay the bell testing, and they're going to say to you, Adam, they're not ready. And you feel they are. Have you ever experienced that, Adam? Michael, do y'all have an actual testing day or event? Nope. No, we don't. Not at all. We do 3 months of curriculum. They're in 6 different stripes. Then fourth month, we do testing throughout the month in class. Our parents are so busy to throw in another day where they're locked down all day long, watching other people test. We just don't dig. But what we do, we do. What we do is at the end of every month, we have a general bell testing on a Saturday from 3 to 5. So anybody that needs to finish testing or makeup test, or they're not in the 3 month cycle, great. We do that. But we prefer to test in class, get it done, don't inconvenience parents. Plus, you have momentum. That was the big thing with that also for us, Michael. There was momentum, right? This kid, put on the brakes. You can't test until this date. Well, what? Time's up, pencil down. I've been earning tips every 2 weeks, and now you're telling me I got to wait until the belt testing date. So we found that we keep the momentum rolling, and they recognize it's part of what they do. And lastly, and this is just me. Just me. I do not want to celebrate mediocrity. A yellow belt is nothing to throw a big party at in a hall, with black belt slideshows and demo teams and the rest. It's just freaking yellow belt. It just is. It just is. And that's, again, my take on that. Cool? RJ, Bernhard. That's a new name for me as well. Anybody coming aboard, please, let me know where you're tuning in from and what's the name of your school. We have people from all over the world, and it's growing. Jay Elliott, $35 for non-Black Belt Club members, $25 for Black Belt Club members. Okay. Yeah. Again, it will always be different strokes for different folks. If there was only one way to be successful, how boring would life be? How boring would it be? Right? So again, find out what your values are. What is your vision? You are the architect of your business, and make it happen. That's the cool thing. I've done it on my terms. In the words of Frank Sinatra, I did it my way, and I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful. Okay? Again, find what works for you. But if you're not getting the results you want, please be realistic about that. Be very realistic about that. George says, I do contracts, and he's got 160 students. I've been open 9 years. I don't consider those great numbers for me. For me. And George agrees as well. So something needs to give. And not one thing. He needs to look at every aspect of his business. I agree with that. K1, do the testings are done during class? A portion of the class of every class that month? Well, say we're stripe testing, right? So you come in on your A day, Monday, 45 minutes of curriculum. And we have amazing instructional videos based upon what? You've already learned this. So when you watch the instructional videos, they're just tuned towards what's everybody doing wrong. They're not chambering this kick. What's everybody doing wrong? They're not loading up the block. They're really fine instructional videos. And then the following Monday, because remember, Monday is 45 minutes of curriculum learning, right, and practicing. Wednesday is all sparring, your B day. So you come back the following Monday, we have 45 minutes to review and test you out. And we don't look at people one at a time. That's insane. Point them in different directions. Have them close their eyes. The reason you look at them one at a time, so you make sure they're not copying each other. Not necessary. Not necessary, right? If that's the only reason you test them one person at a time to make sure they're not copying one another, then point them in different directions. Have them close their eyes. Again, we want this flow. Not put on the brakes, wait for testing. So we do none of those things, none of them. And again, we found that's how we've grown to these numbers, and we facilitate them quite effectively. I'm not big on pomp and circumstance. I never have been. I've never have been. I believe a test is a test. It should be Spartan. It should be very sparse, and it should be treated like SATs or anything else. No demo team, no balloons, no cake, no slideshow. Again, that's me. That's what I believe. If you don't, more power to you. David Werner. Joseph, How do you break down curriculum structure of class schedule from white to black? Additional, how do you structure black belts from first to whatever? That's a big, long question. And all I'm going to encourage you to do is to make sure you use a rotating curriculum, sir. Rotating curriculum works brilliantly for us. And again, it's not so one person can teach more students. It's to produce better martial artists. So we've taken, I've taken the essence of rotating curriculum, Joseph, and I've made it like 10.0. We've got so many versions to refine it because I want great martial artists. Again, that's a values thing. I can't stand when I see a black belt that can't throw a front kick. It just makes me cringe. It doesn't make sense at all. And I've seen it, and you've all seen it and witnessed it. It's appalling. It's appalling because they got pushed through. I need that revenue every 8 weeks, every 3 months. I need that belt testing revenue. Push them through the pipe. So that's a really long question, as far as how do you break down the curriculum structure of class schedule from white to black. Let me try to do it short and sweet. White belts, stand alone. I want a white belt specific class. It's intimidating. It's overwhelming. I want to create a very controlled environment for white belts. Then year 1 is in classes by themselves. Year 2 in classes by themselves. Year 3 and 4, because we know by then that's where your attrition rate is highest. Year 3 and 4 are higher. But ironically, our black belt classes have some of the greatest retention, and they stand alone in their own classes. So that's kind of a quick overview, but it's a very long subject. Okay, what's the next question? What do we got? Okay, good. I want to see these. Carlos, hey, sir. When exactly do your students receive their next belt? In class? No, right in class. We don't want to inconvenience anybody, and parents love it to come back for. Again, I'm not in rural Texas or some area where they look forward to that. I've spoken up in Sacramento, and I walked into a gym of 800 people. It's crazy. For some areas, it works really great. In an urban environment, it doesn't. They're so busy. They're so inundated. It does not work. Okay, it does not work. But again, we knew that because believe me, did we try it? You know it. We tried it because I didn't know any better in the beginning. But once I started really stop looking at what everybody else is doing and focus on my values, how can I serve you better? How can I create a better experience? How can I make better instruction, better instructors? As soon as I focused on that and stopped just looking at what's my ROI, everything opened up. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Cool? Jim, you said it 100 times, so I started. I think I've said it 1,000,000. You said 100 times, so I started reading E-Myth, a raising book. Wrote my first 2 systems Thursday, and it feels great. Thanks. It is. And first systems I encourage everybody to write are the systems to replace you. You're never going to get off that mat. Now, don't get me wrong. I love being on my mat. But you know what? I love being at my son's soccer practice more. Right? I love being on the mat. But I love being out with my family at dinner tonight versus at a parent's night out. So I create that. I have the freedom to teach when I want to teach versus having no freedom because I have to teach. There's a huge difference there, right? So E-Myth was valuable in that process. Adam, sir, here's some staff questions, sir. Do you give your team holiday bonuses? And do you give your part-timers paid holidays? Nope, no, we don't. Only my salary guy is getting that. Everybody else is working hourly, and that's it. I'm not big on bonuses. I'm not big on any of that. We found bonuses based upon performance was promoting envy and jealousy and all the rest, and we don't like it. We want to pay people really, really well to do their job really, really well, and that's it. It's like when hiring. You don't hire anybody at minimum wage. You pay a couple of dollars above, so you draw from a better pool. Same thing here. I don't want to be a sales-based business. And my friend, she's in the fitness industry. And the last week of the month, she always disappears. Because you got to make that quota, got to make that quota, got to make that quota. So then you stop serving and you want to make that bonus, right? So I need that holiday bonus. I want that bonus. Just because it's Christmas, you should get a holiday? Well, how about Groundhog's Day, sir? How about Valentine's? How about St. Patrick's Day, right? How about 4th of July? Why not give me a bonus year round and accommodate that? right? We don't work that way. We just don't. And we found for us, it really, once we stopped doing that, because there was a time we did, because Joe E. Corporate said, got to give bonuses, got to give employee of the year, give them the plaque, da, 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 da. And then as I began to see these innovative cultures, perpetuating, I recognized that. It didn't work. So we stopped it. And once we stopped that and just paid everybody better and really worked to do this with the whole team, right? As they say, as the tide rises, so do all ships. Everything changed for us. It's a much different culture. Our culture elevates along the lines of Zappos, Apple, Facebook. It's a different vibe, totally a different vibe. Jay, as I sit here and watch you answer these questions that people pay tens of thousands of dollars to be answered by people that are not doing anything near your level of success you're achieving, I can't help but feel blessed to be connected with a genuine path. Thank you, sir. I've had a rough week, with my cousin passing, and I've just it's a tough time. But I know if I pay it forward that it's going to come back tenfold, and it does. I've got tons of clients, Jay, that pay me well, that pay me the tens of thousands of dollars. They do. And if I can help in whatever way, I mean, I know a lot of school owners can't afford me and can't afford to have it, and they shouldn't be not allowed to have this information, right? I mean, how are you ever going to get to the point to afford me? Or anybody that you consider a consultant or mentor you want to work with. They can't. So I thank you. I've had a really rough week, a very rough week. And so those words have a huge impact right now on me, sir. Thank you so much. All right. So what do we got? It's 9:17. We've been here for a while. Let's start wrapping this one up. I got to admit, in this rough week, the solace I'm finding hanging with you guys right now and you ladies, super important for me, right? Through the good and the bad, through the indifference, I've done martial arts since I was 5. The one thing that's given me balance, that's given me strength, that's kept me strong is the martial arts. And that's why you'll find me on a mat, because I like to be there. You'll find me doing these things because I like to be there, not because I have to. And there's a huge difference in that. So I do it with so much joy, so much love, so much intensity. It's a much different day. Much different day. Jason's, how do you feel populations affect results? I have a student who has a school in a smaller community. He runs the same systems as I run, but he has less than half as many students I have. Do you think that location plays a role in those results? Do you have any advice I can pass along to him about being successful in a less populated area with a smaller student count? Well, I'm a big advocate of location. Both my schools are in relevant locations. This one here, we have a 24-hour fitness above us, a Subway sandwich, an Office Depot, a Trader Joe's, 2 Starbucks down the road, a Walgreens, a Baskin Robbins, Pete's Coffee. We're in deep. We're in deep in the mix. We're in deep. San Francisco, pretty much the same thing. So I'm very passionate about relevant locations. Now, if he's in a smaller community than you, he should have less students than you, right? The goal is, if it's a small community, I want everybody, as many students as I can. So I think my advice to pass along to him is, if he wants more students, then did he do a demographic study of the communities he's in? That's important. Did he survey? Did he figure out this can sustain, 1, my business model, 2, provide me with the income I need to fulfill my vision? See, for me, I don't know, growing up poor, really poor, I've always wanted to make $1 million a year. That was my first work. Now, $1 million is not, I'm not saying it's not enough, but our goals have stretched beyond that. So that was my number. So I would go back and ask him, Jason, how much money a year do you want to make? And somebody said, as much as I can. I said, that's insane. That's don't think that way. Give me a hard number. What is your first goal? Well, I would like to take home 100,000. Great. Let's do the student value. Let's do how many students. What will it take to achieve that? Great. It's because it's tangible and it's clear. So I would believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, this person never did a demographic study before they opened that school. They opened that school in that community because they live there. Is that correct, Jason? Okay. Joseph, I'm competing against a huge school in my area. That's your first problem. You look at it as you're competing with another school in your area. In my San Francisco location, here are the things we're up against. Besides no parking, zero parking. Remember, San Francisco has 605 students today, I believe, okay? No parking. I can look out the window of San Francisco, and you know what I see, Joseph? 2 Kung Fu schools. I can see them. They're right across the street. Up the street, I got a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, I got a Hapkido guy, and I have a World Oyama, all within a 4-block radius. What is that? 5 schools in a 4-block radius. You know what? I don't know what they charge. I don't know what they do. It's not important to me. What I do focus on is improving our curriculum, improving our instruction, improving our service, always bettering upon what we do. We don't worry about adding too many more programs. We constantly want to refine and better what we do, right? Think about it. A great car like Tesla isn't going to abandon Tesla and create something called, I don't know, whatever. They're going to keep refining their Tesla model and making it better and better and better. Apple just continues to improve the iPhone. They continue to improve the iPad. They continue to improve the MacBook Pro. And that's what this is about. Improve upon what you do. That's what I encourage you to do. It's how can I do better than this guy? That's the challenge, sir. Don't do better than this guy. He might be, have a huge marketing budget. He's got 1,000 students. You got 100, whatever the case may be. He's a big guy, right? A huge school. Don't worry about what he does. Do what you do better than you did yesterday. In every shape, way, and form, sir. In every shape. That's where you focus your attention. Because, it's like when he went to Steph Curry. And that announcer said, you realize you're the MVP of the league and you're the 88th highest paid player in the league. You know what he said? I had no problem with that. You know what my papa taught me? Don't count another man's money. Right? And of course his contract came up and he's the highest paid NBA player. He did what he did, not based upon the money he made. He did it for the love of the game and he got better and better and better. It's the same thing here. He could have sat there and been disgruntled and been a big baby. I only make $14 million a year. I only make and his game would have went down. But he didn't. He didn't. It's the same thing here. Don't worry about what that guy's doing, sir. Focus on what you do, Joseph, and do it better than you did yesterday and do it better than you will, the next and the next and the next. Does that make sense, anybody? I hope so. Jay, as soon as I can, I'm going to purchase the rest of the badges because just a starter kit alone. Yeah, they do. When I created One Merit Badges, because I recognized life skills education is a huge component in our schools. And again, I wasn't happy with anything I saw out there. So I created something that's currently used in 400 schools worldwide. I'm proud of that. If you want to know more, go to onemeritbadges.com. Cool. Jason, yes, he lives there. There you go. That's why, Jason. He didn't do a demographic study. He just opened there because he lives there. That's why. That is not a good reason. I would never open a school just because I live there. This one in Millbrae, because it's very affluent, it's in like the top 2% communities in the nation. It makes sense. It makes sense. So we did our demographic study. It makes sense. Harvey Kennedy, welcome. Joseph, how do you advertise? I still understand, and this is very true with all the different marketing out there. The best ways to get new business is through what? What? Everybody go. What? What? What do you guys think? What's the best way to get new business? Go. Come on, help me out. Referrals. We know that. So how do I get more referrals? Teach better classes. How do I get more referrals? Close that back door, improve my retention so my existing client base is super happy because then they will do what? Refer. How do I get more referrals? Train my team better. How do I get more referrals? Create that Disney experience and constantly improve upon it. How do I get more referrals? Own the 3 to 5 mile radius of your school. Be everywhere and stop thinking marketing wise, where can the demo team perform? Where can I have a booth? Where can I do a school talk? That's only 3 environments that your demographic exists in. Think of everywhere parents and kids hang out and be there. And that's where we came up with the cotton candy machine idea. That's all. We donate that cotton candy everywhere. There's Every weekend, somebody's out somewhere giving out free cotton candy at somebody's open house, somebody's back to school night, somebody's fall fiesta, everywhere. We are everywhere in the community. Everywhere in the community. Everywhere. So then, of course, yes, Facebook ads. I love Facebook ads. And with Steven's course, I'm really learning a lot about Facebook ads. Facebook ads are a big one for us. All the inside community events, free parents night out. We were doing free birthday parties in San Francisco. It's not necessary anymore. We do tons of paid birthday parties now. Tons. That's a great way to get new students. And for us, it's a huge revenue stream because most of the people booking birthday parties are outside of our school. Outside of our school, right? Go figure. Go figure. Because you created the best birthday party. I didn't try to sit there and go, well, birthday parties are to generate leads. So I'm going to make sure that I do a martial arts class in this birthday party. Da, 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 da. No way. We said, what is the best birthday we can create? And we created it. And that's why it's become valuable. See, like Steven says, and I like his words because I've said it so many different ways, but this is so eloquent. Identify your demographic. Understand their need or their pain point, then speak to them. That's the key word, speak to them. And we're no longer selling benefits. We are doing what? Values, promoting values, the value of this program, right? The value of our culture, not the benefits. It's evolving even more to a higher level because today's consumer is educated. They know more about your business than you do. Yelp, boom, 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 Google reviews, Facebook. They got everything on you. So for you to have the ego and the audacity to think, well, when you come in here, you don't know what you want. Oh, please stop it. Please stop it. Stop thinking that way because that's hurting your conversions already. All right? So it is. So everything we recognize, referrals are the number one way. So everything we do is to cultivate that. But I'll tell you, Facebook ads are huge for us. Come on. Over 2 billion people are using it. But again, your friend in that rural area, Facebook ads may not mean anything. Facebook ads here in Millbrae aren't nearly as effective as our Facebook boosts. But we're going to keep working on that because I love the custom lists I can do in Ads Manager than I can in boosting. I can do so much more with creating custom lists if I design an ad than boosting a post. So again, more information from Steven in his new Facebook course. And it's powerful. So again, serving the community, I agree with you, sir. Word of mouth. Referrals and moms, absolutely, Jay. All those things are happening. But again, if you're doing all this great marketing and your school's not growing, that is because your back door is wide open, right? 10 in the front door, 10 out the back. Close the back door. How do you do that? Teach better classes. How do I do that? Train your team better. How do I do that? Improve my curriculum. It's real simple. It's like a restaurant. If your food sucks, I don't care how great your marketing is. If your food is great, but your wait staff sucks, I don't care. You're going to fail. Great food, great waiting staff, great service, great ambiance, and great marketing. Win, 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 win all the way around. Cool? No parking. Jason, ask anyone. Ask anyone that's been in my school in San Francisco. There is no parking. None. I don't know. They manage and they get there and they figure it out. But now they even, because of the number one bus line that comes through San Francisco, we have nothing but red in front of our school. So people can't park there anymore. We lost like 8 or 9 parking spaces right there alone. And in San Francisco, that's huge. And we're still packed at 600. If you have a great product, people will come to you. They will. They will. And our waiting area is packed. That's the weird thing, Jason. Not everybody drops off. Our waiting area is packed. It's crazy. Carlos, I'm glad you brought that up again. How much was that cotton candy machine? Like $300-400 plus the cotton candy is cheap. So we spent like $500 and everything. I'll post it after this. Maybe you can find it, K1. Well, what is the cotton candy machine I have? The Vortex. It's about $234 at Amazon. Plus you buy the plastic dome because it just makes life much easier. Raja, sir. Good evening. Jay, my in-laws own Coepsi's Popcorn, which runs all the popcorn stands at Summerfest and State First here in Wisconsin. I can find a good vendor for you or make it for you and ship it. Ha, ha, ha. But I'm sure cotton candy machines are not horribly priced, but worth the investment. They are. They are. They are. And somebody criticized me about that, and I hear that. It's not healthy, cotton candy. You know what? If a little bit of sugar is going to compromise the integrity of my martial arts, I'm probably standing on a pretty flimsy foundation to begin with. Life is a balance. I'm a martial artist. If I want to eat a little sugar, it's not going to kill me. It's a balance, right? It's a balance. So You want to have that stance? More power to you. All right, let's wrap this up. Man, we have gone on tonight. You guys are beasts. You are beasts. So what are our big takeaways tonight? Go. Give me your takeaways. Give me those takeaways. This is our mission statement behind us. Everybody see our mission statement while you're putting it in. We are one, a community dedicated to serving you in every moment to live your best life. We own that. It sits up on our wall right behind our front desk on one side with our logo on the other. See? Logo on the other. We own it. We own it. You know, and like Zappos, online shoe company, billion-dollar online shoe company, he says it. We are not in the business of selling shoes. We're in the business of customer service. I would like to believe that too. I really would in our case. There it is. That's the cotton candy machine right there. Yeah. You're welcome, John. Good night to you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, to teach something is to learn it twice. I learn as much from you and your questions as I do in serving you with answers. So what are our big takeaways tonight? Go, 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 go. Type them in, our big takeaways. 3 takeaways. Type them in. And while you're doing that, I'm going to serve you up. The audio version of my book is being loaded up right now. It's just waiting for approval. I guess I want to make sure there's no weird stuff in it. But those of you that listen to books on tape, it will be available at Audible. It will be available at iTunes. Live, Learn, Grow, Lessons of a Reluctant Tiger. If you like to read, pick up the hard copy version at Amazon. Cool? So what else we got going on? My kids' book, The Adventures of Bray and Tay, selling very, very well. School owners are keeping it in the pro shop. They're using them as birthday gifts to give away to kids. You know, they're putting their little logo on it. It's powerful. The first book is on focus. It instills and perpetuates the life skills that we teach. Pick that up at Amazon. If you want bulk copies, hit me up at Facebook. We'll give you a much better price. Good. Okay, Joseph, I don't buy. They will figure out no parking issue. Okay, I've been there for 18 years, sir. I will tell you, there is no parking. They bus it in. They drop the kids off. They park 2 blocks away. They do whatever they need to do, sir. But that's the long and short of it. I don't know what else to tell you. We have no parking. We don't. And who's ever been to my San Francisco location that can back that up? Anybody? But I'm glad you challenge us, Joseph. He's saying, I don't buy they will figure out the no parking issue. I'm telling you, there's no parking. It's in San Francisco. There's no parking, sir. We don't have a parking lot. And so I know some people bus, some people walk, because again, people like to walk in the neighborhood. Some kids get dropped off, but it's amazing because our waiting area is packed. People find a way. They just do. Remember, we've been there 18 years, sir. So this parking issue has been there all this time. Okay, let's see. Jay Elliott, be as committed to our business and student service as you are, sir. Increase value, increase reward. Yeah, sure. Takeaways, create systems to replace yourself. Focus on service, all decisions based upon this. Good, I love it. Stephen, takeaway. I gotta work on our class schedule. Yeah, we're always tweaking our schedule. We added a bunch of new morning classes for homeschool. I find that, our schools are dead during the day. So we're becoming a vendor to the homeschool market because it's very tight knit. And we're going to start focusing on morning classes. Where else am I going to generate more revenue? I can't. We're booked in the evenings. So we have to start going after those daytime. How do we find that demographic? Homeschool kids. Number 1, they have more flexibility in their scheduling than anybody else. Okay? Makes sense? Jay, my brother. Your biggest takeaway is my brother? Joseph, thanks, sir. I think I needed more. Yeah, we all do. And sometimes I'm really just amazed that we cram 600 people through our doors in San Francisco. But we have one of the best transit system. So I bet if I demographic studied that, a lot more people take buses than I realize. But I don't know. I don't know, sir. It is one of those mysteries of life that I'm just grateful for more than anything, but I don't really question. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So Jay Elliott's, his brother said it was packed with no parking when you were there. Yeah, and it blows people's mind. We couldn't find any parking. It took forever to find parking, and this place is packed. It is. It simply is. Millboro, we have a lot better parking, and it's growing as well. Raj, I visited Millbrae. I Ubered in 36 miles from my work hotel. Still no parking. Yeah, Millbrae doesn't have great parking either. But again, build it and they will come. You have a great product. You have a great experience, great service. People find a way. Jay Elliott, read down. Read down. Yeah, I got it, sir. I got it now, Jay. What other takeaways do you have? So my next big event while you put in those takeaways is November. November 12th, you can stay for 1 day. You can stay for 2 days, November 11th and 12th. Or many people, well, only 20 can do this. You can do the 4-day experience, November 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Like I said, it's about everything, creating a success mindset, understanding a rotating curriculum, writing the systems. How do I cultivate a team? How do I create my brand? There's so many elements that go into creating a successful business that 4 days is only the beginning of it all. It really is. So it's called It's Time Live Encore, presented by Rainmaker Membership Systems and Software and Vision USA. Go to brannonbeliso.com/itstime/live and get signed up because all the events sell out. We limit it to 60 people. Again, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. 60 is the magic number. I serve people really, really well at that point, and they feel they're getting the kind of love they deserve. So get signed up. It sells out every time. Jay, you're being very kind to me tonight, sir. LOL, in the last 10 minutes, I took away more things than I have in 3-hour webinars. Because you guys are asking the right questions. Do you realize that? See, the big thing is there's tons of answers out there. And we're all looking for answers. And I'm not looking for answers. I'm looking for the right questions to get me the right answers I need to grow my business. But if I don't know my why, if I don't have clear values, I don't have a clear action plan, I don't have the systems in place, I don't have the team in place, guess what? I'm just blindly like buckshot looking for any answer that appeals to me. So the reason I think you got a lot out of this, Jay, is because you know your why. You know who you are. You know what you want to do with your business. So you ask the right questions to get the right answers you need. And I'm very passionate about that. Ask the right questions, get the right answers. Cool? What's up, Kenneth? Yeah, it's been a long, hard week for me, sir. So I needed this too. I know I've been off for a couple of days. I haven't been around here, and I apologize for that. You know, I'm trying to make it a discipline to be with you daily because success is daily. It's a mindset you cultivate daily, not once, and you don't do it for 3 weeks. Every day you cultivate that mindset if you want to be successful. You do. And did I say that? You do. So I try to do my best to be with you as much as possible. But in the past couple of days, I'm sure everybody understands why I've not been. Wow, Ken signed up another one this morning. Good for you, Ken. Good for you. But on the days when we have great months like this, remember when the bad ones roll around, it can't rain all the time in the words of the late, great Brandon Lee. It can't. You have a bad month, you know next month can be better. And that's where the faith thing comes in. Having that faith that, hey, you know, this is a bad day. Maybe we're having a bad month, but I won't let one day become 2 bad days into a week, into a month. I will do everything I can to flip the switch, change the script, and turn things around. You have the ability to do that because you're an entrepreneur and a small business owner, right? Thank you for the love, Kenneth. I appreciate the love. Everybody who's going to go back and watch this one again, I think I will. Man, I got tons of amazing questions from quality people, and I'm going to learn a lot too. Share this with as many people as you can. Spread the word. Service is the new profit. And I can gratefully say I'm not your leader, but I'm an example of that being a disruptor. Someone coming into an industry, offering a new solution to being successful. That is what I do. That is who I'm about. That is what I'm about. And you're important to me. And that is why I'm here. And if you take this information and you're wildly successful, I'm so grateful. I really, really am. And if you find the need and you want my services beyond watching my videos, then you'll seek me out. You will. You'll go to my website, brannonbeliso.com, look at my services. They're all there. They're all there. Remember, things are about attraction, not promotion. Not promotion. And if I serve you really well, you may be inspired to serve somebody else. You will be inspired to teach better classes. You'll be inspired to do all those things and then some. Cool? All right. So I want to thank everybody tonight. Big thank to my sponsor, Rainmaker Membership Systems and Software. Scott and the gang, thank you for allowing me a voice. I express this passionately. They do not censor me. They do not tell me what to do. Because I do not like green eggs. I do not like them, Sam, I am. And I will not be told by anybody how to sing my song. This is my contribution to the martial arts industry. Win, lose, or draw. I'm sorry if people don't like it, or they might be offended by it in the process. That's okay. As long as we can respectfully agree to disagree, then I think we perpetuate the Buddha spirit, and we offer ourselves the opportunity to learn from each other, even in our differences. Cool? All right. Thank you, everybody. Until we talk again, please, 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 you go out there and you live your best life.